Let's talk about listing presentations. Hope you're having an awesome day. This episode is brought to you by brillianttribe.com. So earlier today, I taught a whole class on listing presentations. In fact, I showed my listing presentation and I gave it to everybody that was in the coaching, and now they can modify it like they want. But there's a process. And the process I've outlined here in a Google Doc for you because I want you to also create the right process. I've done over 1,000 listing presentations. And look, some of them, to be fair, some of them are not full-on presentations. They're just me showing up and talking, which is what normally happens. Now, in some cases, people do want you to go through the whole listing presentation. And so this is why I built it out. And this is the process. It's a 9-step process. You can add or take away in between. But we found that this process, it maximizes connection with the seller. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 9, right? Number one, once you're all sat down and talking, number one step is show them client success. They want to see that you've done this before. Think about this on Amazon. When you go on Amazon, you look for whatever product you're going to find. And then what do you do next? You look for the reviews. You're like, how was it? Was it good? What was the experience? Same thing here. Start with the reviews. Show them either the letters or the Zillow reviews, your own reviews, Google, I don't care. Put that in the front and then showcase that. Next, track record. They need to know that they're with somebody, if they don't know already, that has been doing great. And if it's not you, maybe it's your brokerage. Showcase that. Next, talk about the thing that almost nobody talks about, and we do step 3 and 4, we do this very well. Buyer behavior. And we grab NAR's information. By the way, it's free. You can go grab it. And just showcase, like, what is their behavior like as a buyer? Where are they going first? And if they're going online, where are they going? And if they're going online to see property, what are the most important things for them? And where are they going online? Because later on, when we get to marketing, we bridge that together and we're saying, hey, this is where buyers go. And later, this is how we solve it, right? Makes sense. Number 4, we show buyer and seller generational trends. We push a little bit here because we want to show that certain demographics, and pay attention on this one, because I don't think I see very many people do this one. Certain demographics that live in an area may also attract others that want to live in that neighborhood because of it, right? And maybe the other part to this is maybe when you are doing Just List Is Just Sold and you're doing calls and postcards and whatever you're doing, you're going to attract other similar people as well. And so when we show the demographic page, we show all the possible baby boomer, silent generation, Generation X, and Generation Y, millennials. And then we demonstrate where they go first. And one of the things that pops out is they all go to agents first. Now, it differs, right? What percentage goes to agents first, but they all go to agents first. And that's important because when I bring up the fact that we have amazing relationships with real estate agents because we treat them well, right? And we want to work with them because they typically work with amazing buyers, as they can see. It bridges that gap too, right? So think about that approach. And all of this information NAR gives to you for free if you're a realtor. You could just grab it and then put these slides into your presentation. Easy. Number 5, our marketing strategy. We have a 17-point, well, actually it's 20. I don't know why I put 17 here. Let me go. Oh, I put 17 plus. Well, I put 20 plus. Now you can do more than 20. You can do less. Modify it as you see fit. But we've got the regular thing where we put up a sign, QR code, we capture, to the thing that very little people do, which is Google PPC ads for each listing. And sometimes you see Facebook lead ads for each listing, international markets that we tap on, and we do other single property websites for each of one of our listings. We do the printing, we do offline, online, everything, right? And we explain it. Number 6, custom branding and visual marketing. Here's where we explain that pictures and video are extremely important, and here's how we mention it. We lay it down and we say, what's the first thing when you're looking for a book? what's the first thing you typically do when you're at Barnes & Noble's, right? Or whatever bookstore. You're walking through and you're like, oh, I like that cover. I like the cover. And then based on the cover, maybe you read the subtitle and then maybe you open it up and you're like, what are the table of contents? What does a flap say? Same thing happens with your home. People are scrolling through, and once they've identified that price range they want, everything else comes down to pictures and video. And so we want to make sure that your home looks beautiful online, right? And that's why we go into it that way. And we show how we solve for that problem. Number 7 is pricing strategy. We indicate, let me highlight that one so it shows better. We indicate how pricing strategy is extremely important, especially if we price it wrong, what happens over a longer period of time. People look at the home and they're like, what's wrong with that home since it's been on the market for over the average days on market, right? And then they start digging. And when they can't find the reason, they make up their reason. And it's usually not good, right? They're going to say, oh, it's overpriced or something's wrong with it. Number 8, we do a step-by-step roadmap that shows them exactly what happens once we put it on the market and we get an offer. So the buildup, all this is the buildup, right? The marketing, the pre-marketing. But what happens when we get an offer? Then we start negotiating and we explain that process. And then on top of that, we explain what happens once we're under contract. Everything we do. And that's the part that we miss as agents. You've got to have a page or two designated just for this so you can show everything that you're involved in and how you help with negotiation, how you help with all the paperwork and organization and communication. It's a lot, but none of us explain it. And then lastly, I just put, hey, let's get started. Let's do this. Anyway, that's it in a wrap. If you are part of coaching, great, you got this. If not, we also have LCA Marketing Center. You can always go to Breakthrough Broker. They have built out templates for listing presentations. But if you need this Google Doc that lays out the 9, let me know. I'll send it over to you. Message me on Instagram. Friend me first, and then I'll send it over. Have an awesome day.